Nice. Oh wow, that's good. Going in for a lot of damage. Passing the turn. Welcome everybody, thanks for joining me today for another draft of Aetherdrift. I'm Nico aka Another MTG, trying to make the magic happen. So without further ado, let's draft. Okay, what do we have here? That is a Gonti, and I have been under much pressure by that card, because that is just a very good card. The whole pack is looking pretty solid. We have Veloheart Bike, which is good, Migrating Catrodon, which is good, we have Spectral Interference, which is good, we have Rise from the Rack, Outpace Oblivion, Sabotage Strategist, and Sundial Dawn Tyrant, but I love the Gonti. I do want to pick that as a pick here. Okay, that is a solid first pick, but I do want to make up for my last draft, which just didn't go my way. Even if I was able to draft a mono green deck with a black splash, but I was just lacking the interactive spells and also made some stupid mistakes. But here we have Stock Up, which is good, Calaxion, Guidelight Pathmaker, and the Thundering Broodwagon. If I will be able to somehow cycle that and reanimate that, that is just very solid vehicle. There's also a Migrating Catrodon and a Streaking Oil Gorger, so I'll just take the Thundering Broodwagon here. Now here's a Bloodghast, Mutant Severe, Calaxion, and what's the best card from this pack? Is it the Bloodghast? Probably. It just keeps returning and returning from the graveyard, but it's double black. Calaxion is also double black. It's a 7/2. That's a tough decision here. There's also Grim Bauble, but I think the Bloodghast can be fine. Maybe if we end up in some black aggressive deck, the best card out of this pack is probably the Migrating Catrodon, or there's also a Streaking Oil Gorger, but I just think that the Catrodon is a very solid card, so I'll take that gladly. So far looking good, but I don't wanna be happy at this point, because things can change and good looking decks can still get some bad results. Here we had the Lagorin, and the Lagorin pick 5 is an indication that the white and green archetype is open, because that is a very good card in the white and green archetype. I don't know if I really want to splash it if I end up in Golgari. There's also the Marshal's Path Cruiser, and that just helps me to splash anything, and is a solid vehicle that is a 6/5. So I think I'll take the Marshal's Path Cruiser here. Let's see what else will be coming our way. I do hope for some good removal spells. I will prioritize the removal spells more, because I have lost some games because of lack of removal spells. So let's just hope this changes here, and that the Broodwagon, Migrating Catrodon, Gonti, Bloodghast, those are all really fine cards that I am happy to play. Bloodghast is just a solid 2-drop. You know, it's double black, but it just keeps returning and returning. It makes in the late game, if I play a land, it's not a lost card, so it just reanimates the Bloodghast, which I do love. If you do love my content, you just hit the like or subscribe button, because this helps me grow and continue making more content like this. I'd appreciate it much. Okay, person to my right is a slow picker. So there is, now that's a tough spot here. We have Huldrifter, Deathless Pilot, Wreckage Wicker Folk. I do love the Wreckage Wicker Folk. I also like the Deathless Pilot. I do also love Broken Wings and its interaction. There might be a Deathless Pilot coming our way later. The Lightning Strike is just also a very good card. But I think the Broken Wings is just, I want to play one copy of that. So here we have a Velohard bike, and I do love the Velohard bike. There's also Rise from the Wreck, but that is not... I do prefer the Velohard bike at this point of the game. So, ending up in the same Golgari colors than that where I drafted last time. Fang Guardian, and I do want that. That's good. I love the Fang Guardian. There's also an Apocalypse Runner, pick 8. And that is also a clear indication that Rakdos is a thing to be worth considering. But I just love the Fang Guardian. And I think I'll prefer the Fang Guardian over the other card. Here we have a Sabotage Strategist in pick number 9. There's also Risky Shortcut and another Velohard bike. So if we do have enough Velohard bikes, that just provides us a good mana base, and I might be able to splash. If I find a really solid card in pack 2 or pack 3, I will be able to splash that card, and the Calaxion got tabled. I don't see why not take it. Midnight Mangle is also good. It seems like blue might be open here. Another Calaxion. Wow. And a Hull Drifter. Sure, let's just take it. Let's just see. Calaxion, I don't love it very much, but you know, if I end up in some speedy aggressive deck, that and it might look like with the Bloodghast and the Calaxion, it's also a good blocker because it can block any big thing here, and that being tabled is a very strong indication that black is super duper open. Taking the Nimble Thopterist, putting it in the sideboard. Also Gearseeker Serpent. Nobody's drafting artifacts, but I have had good success, but also a not good success while with drafting the artifact stack. So I don't want to draft Dimir artifacts now. Even though there's a Spike Shell Harrier, there's a Mu Yan Link. That is a very, very strong card. When it enters, create a 3/2 colorless vehicle artifact token with crew 1. Vehicles you control have flying. Whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. But there's also a spin out, and to be honest, I do think the spin out is the better pick for me here, because this costs double blue. Even if I splash, I don't want to splash. I might, you know, it's okay to splash that, but the spin out is just a very solid removal card. I want to have that in my deck. I don't need a Mu Yanling. I could use the second Broodwagon. I do love that as well. There's also a Gravestalker, Wreckage Wickerfolk, Migrating Catrodon, also very nice. But having a second Thundering Broodwagon, which just is a very solid removal card, I do love it. And I think I want to take that over the other cards here, even though there's a Coldstoke Gearhulk. But you know, the same with the Mu Yanling, splashing for a double colored card is just not ideal. I do want to get around that if I'm able to get around it. So the spin out is just a very, very solid interactive spell, and here we have a second spin out, which I am gladly taking, because having two spin outs just helps getting rid of my opponent's creatures. So we have the Thundering Broodwagon and the spin outs. That is 4 solid removal spells. We have the Broken Wings, the Velohard Bike. We are able to cast all these double black, double green stuff. Let's just see what else is coming our way today. Today I'm picking fast, but I think it's good. If this Golgari deck makes up for the Golgari deck last time I drafted, it's gonna make me very, very happy. Greenbelt Guardian, wow. There's also Jungle Hollow, but I I'm not passing on that Greenbelt Guardian. That is just way too powerful, and I do need some more strong creatures. So Greenbelt Guardian is one of the best uncommons in the set. Can become a 5/5 later on. So I am happy with that pick. Okay, waiting on other players to pass a draft pack. I can wait. I do think Bloodghast is fine, Greenbelt Guardian is fine, Broken Wings is fine, Veloheart, those are all very good playable cards. Gaunty is just insane whenever I deal combat damage. Ooh, wow, Wastewood Verge and Run Over. I do prefer the... Ooh, wow, this hurts, but you know, I should be considering the Wastewood Verge over the Run Over because I have 2 spin-outs, I have the Thundering Broodwagon. The Run Over is a very fine card, definitely, don't get me wrong, but I want to be able to cast my Bloodghast, I want to be able to cast my spin-out, so I'll take the Wastewood Verge. I will prioritize the dual land in my color, and maybe I'll get the other one tabled. I don't think so. That can return something, and I'll take the Rise from the Wreck, sure, returning something from my graveyard. Marshall's Path Cruiser also lets me search for a basic land card, and I think it's looking a little better than my last draft deck, where I was definitely lacking some interactive spells. Here I have a Bestow Greatness, which I also like. Also have the Broken Wings, and the Bestow Greatness is also here in my interactive pile. That is just good to return whatever I want, but I can just return it to my hand, so it doesn't make sense cycling the Broodwagon. Maybe if I can cast it later on in the game, sure. There's a second Bestow Greatness and a Deathless Pilot. And I think looking at my creature count and looking at my 2-drop count, I should prefer the Deathless Pilot over the Bestow Greatness because I have more interaction and less creatures than I should have. Or like enough interaction but less creatures that I want. So I'll be taking the Deathless Pilot gladly. And waiting for pick number 9. There's a Point the Way. That's just, you know, I don't really love that card. And in Elacrian Jaguar, I think that's just okay. It's better than the Bestow Greatness, I think. Let's just take the Elacrian Jaguar and wait for the next pack coming my way. Here is another Bestow Greatness and a Gravestalker. Sure, if we have some graveyard synergy, I think it's not the best card ever. Or do I want the second Bestow Greatness? I prefer that because it's just a really good card. Wreck Remover. Last draft I also mixed up this card with the Scrap Compactor, and that's just annoying and really uncool trip up putting it in my sideboard. And here Glitch Ghost Surveyor versus Magmarkin Artillerist. Sure, we have some blue cards in our sideboard, but I don't think I want to splash any of those. Here we have a Venomsac Lagak, and I think there's also Mutant Surveyor, but I think the Venomsac Lagak is just also, it makes up for not having many removal spells because it's a Death Touch creature. There's also an Ooze Patrol, but you know, looking at my curve, I do love the Lagak more, and I take that very happy. And here we have a Beast Rider Vanguard, which is a very fine green creature that makes me look at some other creatures. And here's also a Momentum Breaker that fits the aggressive strategy just a little bit better, and still I want to have 6 2-drops or 7 maybe, so I'll take the Beast Rider Vanguard happily. Pack 3, pick 2. Okay, we have a Boom Mobile, and here we found another run over. That's just very, very good. Boom Mobile is good, but the same like the other cards, it costs double red, and I don't want to splash a card that costs double red. Run over is a fine removal spell that I really love, and here is a Mold Tender versus a Grim Bauble. So that just also helps me with the mana curve, and I think we have 2 Spinouts, 2 Bestow Greatness, a Broken Wing, 2 Thundering Broodwagon. Mold Tender is just a solid 1-drop. I think it's better than the Grim Bauble at this point, because the Grim Bauble, you know, it just can get rid of some toughness 1 creature, toughness 2 creature. Here I'll take the Stampeding Scurryfoot, and I do feel that this deck is just way stronger than my last Golgari deck. So this looks very, very good at the moment. And here we have another Beast Rider Vanguard, which I do love. I want to take that. I can use the 5 mana ability to look at the top 3 cards, reveal permanent, put that in my hand, and put the rest on the bottom. So get rid of some lands, and that's a very, very strong ability. Going on to the next pack. If the person is passing it to me. So the Alacrian Jaguar is probably the worst card in there. Also Calaxion just fits the aggressive strategies better, I think, but you know, I love to play one. It's a really good blocker. And here we have another Migrating Catrodon. I do love that. We have enough 2-drops, so I love to have the second Migrating Catrodon here. Now there's a point the way, like I said before, I don't love that card. Races Scoreboard, why not? Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Maybe maybe there's a world where I can play that. I don't know. Passing the pack on and waiting for pack 3, pick 8. So 2 Thundering Broodwagons is good. Broken Wings is good. I think this deck is just more solid. I could use, so Run Over, we did find a Run Over. And here we have another Ooze Patrol. Sure, I do like it. I can play that in the late game. So this looks much more solid than my last deck. I have solid 1-drops, I have solid 2-drops. This is just Rip Up, Keen Buccaneer, just take the best card. And Marshall's Path Cruiser. Do I really want to play that in this deck? I don't really know if I need basic lands removed. I have the Wastewood Verge, which I do love. I could use another land, but that's just not happening. Risky Shortcut, sure, let's see. I don't know if I want to play that. Maybe instead of the Bloodghast, because you know it's Bloodghast is just double black. It's not that good of a card. I mean, it can be very annoying, but and also if I mill it somehow with the Ooze Patrol, for example, it just returns. It's nice because I don't have to pay the double black to be able to reanimate it. I just have to play any land if it's in my graveyard. We have 42 cards. Which 2 cards do we want to get rid of? How many creatures do we have? 14. I don't want to cut a creature. I think I don't want. If I cut something, I'll cut the Calaxion, because those other cards just have a lot of value. I do have 17 lands, one of them being able to make more mana. I have 2 Veloheart Bikes, so I think mana-wise we shouldn't have a problem. I can cut, if I have to cut one thing, it just might be the Calaxion. And then Moltender is nice, has some graveyard synergy. I don't have anything to return stuff from my graveyard, so I think it's just, it might be good if I splashed, but I think like these 12 creatures now, I think it's good like this. Let's give this deck a shot and hope it makes up for my last sucky Golgari deck. Let's give it a shot. Alright. I just also hope last time we just drew very unlucky hands. This hand is looking much better, so I'm happy to play that. Opponent plays a Plains. I open the game by playing a Swamp, passing the turn. Opponent plays a Forest, followed by a Sundial Dawn Tyrant. Sure. So I'll just play a Forest and play the whatever. I'm not gonna be able to block the Sundial Dawn Tyrant, so let's just pass the turn. Opponent attacks for 3. I'll take 3 damage, no blocks. Going down to 17 life. Opponent plays a Marshaled Pathcruiser, searching for a basic land, found a Forest, and passes the turn. So I'll play the Swamp, and I will play the now that okay, I'll play the Stampeding Skirtfoot and the Deathless Pilot, and I will attack for 2, passing the turn to my opponent. Opponent is at 18 life. Drew a card, place a Wastewood Verge, fine, and so what are they doing? That is an interesting question. I do love that I have many 2-drops here now. That is just very important in Aetherdrift, I think. Okay, opponent passed the turn. So what's the thing to do? I'll just attack with all of my creatures. Opponent is blocking the Beast Rider Vanguard, so I'll bestow Greatness that, and they have a maximum overdrive, no run over, sure. Okay, that's fair. Going to 15 life, passing the turn. Opponent draws a card, plays a Forest, and plays a Lotus Guard Disciple, sure, giving that vehicle lifelink and indestructible, crewing that for 5, going in for 6 damage with an indestructible lifelinker, gaining 6 life, which is just insane. I could use a removal spell as well. And now they are passing the turn. We found a land, which is good, so we can play the Lagak. We can play the Greenbelt Guardian. Oh, I'm not able to play the Greenbelt Guardian. That sucks, but I'll just... Do I want to attack? No, I think I cannot block that. They are... And I can block that with the Death Toucher. If not, I'll just attack with the... Yeah, I'll just attack with those. Going down to 18 life, passing the turn. Opponent draws a card and plays a Plains. Attacking with those 2. So I do wanna... like, I'll take the 5 damage, sure. And opponent plays an Autarch Mammoth. Wow. Good. That is very annoying. So I can now... What's the play here? Exhausting that. Get some more... Get some value out of this. And pass the turn. No attacks. End the turn. I do need to get rid of that Autarch Mammoth as soon as possible. I can either kill the Path Cruiser or the Mammoth. They're not gonna attack unless they have some removal for my Lagak. Or they just want to run over me, but that was a very fast game. Plow through, sure, that is very, very annoying here. And playing another Sundial Dawn Tyrant. They are probably going in with the Mammoth and the Path Cruiser here. Don't know, really. Not sure yet. So... opponent is taking their time. So what is going to happen here? Come on. Some decision has to be made, my friend. Okay, crewing the Marshal's Path Cruiser, attacking with those cards. I don't have my Death Toucher anymore. So, I do have the Deathless Pilot and the Autarch Mammoth to get rid of and the Elephant to get rid of that here. And I think that's it, taking 3 damage. Going to 1 life. Not being able to turn that around, I think that's just it. 1, 2. I don't have green mana sources. I can return this. This is just it. That's disappointing. Come on. Come on. But I was a little unlucky, I guess. I think maybe the Bloodghast shouldn't be in the deck. So the hand looks good as well, but my other hand looked good as well before. Opponent plays a Thornwood Falls, going to 21 life. I play a Forest, passing the turn. Opponent draws a card. Opponent plays a Willow Rush Verge and a Venom Sac Lagak. Sure. I'll play a Swamp followed by also a Venom Sac Lagak. Sure. Passing the turn. Opponent draws a card. Opponent plays a Forest and passes the turn. So I drew a Forest and I wanna play the Greenbelt Guardian here. Do I wanna attack with my Lagak? I don't think so, not now. Passing the turn. Opponent draws a card and plays a... plays no land? Yeah, plays a Forest. And... followed by... come on. Okay, passing to attackers. Okay, passing the turn. So, I drew a Swamp. What's the play? Playing the Fang Guardian. And... do I spin out the Lagak? Just to go in? They might have some removal spells. So I think just... playing the Ooze Patrol. Sure, why not? Milling 2, just to have it on the board. I know it could be much bigger, but now it's a potential. It's a 3/3. I will attack with the Lagak. Opponent blocks, so Lagak versus Lagak is a fair trade, I think, looking at the board state now. Oh, they have some... no. Okay. So they cycled something. Okay, the Lagak versus Lagak, that's a fair trade-off. I am happy with that trade. Because now I can just go through. Even if they play something, I can cast the spin out on that and go in for a lot of damage. So opponent plays a Hull Drifter. Wow, that is just very, very... That's just too bad for them, because I can just... I'll just play that, sure, why not? I'll attack here. And play the Fang Guardian. Give that Greenbelt Guardian +2/+2. Going in for a lot of damage. Opponent is at 14 life, passing the turn. Opponent draws a card. Plays a land, swamp, and... The Hull Drifter is a good sign that they might not have something better in their hand, which I do love, but they probably don't love it here. So that needs to be crewed for 3 power. Velohard Bike, sure, that needs to be crewed for 2. So they can, I guess they can crew the Velohard Bike for 2 with the Optimizer and then crew the Hull Drifter for the Velohard Bike. No, they cannot. Ah, yeah, they can. Okay, so passing the turn. So I think I want to spin out, then run over, or just Catrodon, or just exhaust. 4. Four mana, put 3 +1/+1 counters on this creature. Opponent wants to run over my... Okay, so I'll have to run over. So their run over will not be valid because their creature died. Nice. Oh wow, that's good. Going in for a lot of damage. Passing the turn. Opponent is at 4 life. You're not gonna be able to turn that around. That's how this deck is supposed to work, and that's how I like the deck. Opponent creates a mana. Produces mana. Hellish Sideswipe, destroying the Greenbelt Guardian. Sure. I can live with that. I just need to go in for 4 damage here, and I will be able, because I have the spin out. And even if they cast something, okay, that's just not okay. Ooze Patrol, sure. I'll just kill the Ooze Patrol. Opponent is tapped out, so I'll kill the Ooze Patrol. They're gonna crew one of their vehicles. Crewing the Velohard Bike for 2, and now I definitely will attack, because why not? I want them to suffer, I want them to go down in life, I want them to have less life here, and then I will play the East Rider Vanguard, passing the turn. So opponent plays a Rise from the Wreck. That's nice, returning all those cards to their hand. I will play the Migrating Catrodon if I must. So they can stall me a little longer, but I don't think that they're gonna be able to turn that game around. Let's just wait and not be happy too early. There is a German saying, man soll den Tag nicht vor dem Abend loben, and that means kind of like you shouldn't praise the day before the evening. So you understand what I mean. I'll just go in and attack with both my creatures here. Opponent does crew the Hull Drifter or not. So they are blocking the Vanguard. Do I wanna activate that ability? Sure, because It might be better than to not draw a land. Ooh, Gonti, sure. I want the Gonti. Going in for 3 damage. Opponent is at 2 life. Opponent draws a card. Plays a swamp. Plays the Use Patrol, I guess. Sure. Mills 2 cards. Puts a lot of counters. Mills a Sapsunen. And is a 7/7 now. Sure. I can live with that. Passes the turn. I play the Migrating Catrodon. Gaining 4 life. Having a big thing here now. I'm at 24 life. No attacks. Passing the turn. Opponents... Oh, they have some removals, but no. Passing the turn. Opponent draws a card. And... Are they playing something? Do you have something to play? I think at this point it's just stalling. You know, there have been games where it's been turned around. So, come on. What's the play here? If they don't have a creature, a second one, then it's game. Spike Shell Harrier, wow, okay, sure. Migrating Catrodon, bounce to my hand. I'll gain 4 more life off of it. I can live with that. And I will do that, sure. Gain more life. Passing the turn after gaining 4 more life. No attacks. I think opponent is buying time, but I don't think they're gonna be able to turn that around. Because it does look good for me here. Thundering Broodwagon, sure. I'll play that. I'll cast it. I'll destroy the Ooze Patrol. They will crew one of their vehicles. I'll attack with both my creatures here after they crewed for one. So, what do you think? I thought about doing some crazy challenge, like drafting only common decks or only uncommon decks. So I'm not allowed to draft rares, to pick rares out of the draft. Would you like to see that or not? Let me know if you would love to see. If you'd love to see that. I think it can be a fun thing to only draft uncommons or commons to like. So okay, opponent plays a Broken Wings, destroys my Thundering Broodwagon. I can live with that, and they have a Gibberic Omnivore. Sure. So if I find some removal, I didn't find removal, but I found that I will be able to cast the Gonti. I gain 2 life. I'll attack with my Ooze Patrol. Keep the pressure. Opponent will probably crew the Veloheart Bike. No, I don't understand why not, because then they have a blocker next turn. Pass the turn. Opponent draws a card. Is it a creature or not? Come on. It is a creature. So they gained some time here. Still able to stall. I find one good removal spell. Then I'm happy. Didn't find it. Found a Veloheart Bike. Crewing that with the Gonti, which I don't want to lose right now because this even has 4 power, and attacking for 4. Opponent blocks with the Veloheart Bike. This time they are blocking with the vehicle. Sure, passing the turn. Opponent draws a card. And place a pothole mole. Sure. Milling 3 cards, returning a land card. And passes the turn, I guess. So we drew the spin out. And I do want to spin out. I wanna crew the Velohard bike with the Gonti. Submit 3. Attack 4. Okay, so opponent conceded. That's making the magic happen. Alright, is that a hand I want to keep? Sure, why not? I can cast the Lagak, I can cast the Bloodcast. Do I want to open with the Lagak? Or with the Bloodcast? Why not with the Bloodcast? Passing the turn. Opponent has... No, there's no 1 mana rat removal spell in that set. Opponent plays an island and stalls out my Bloodcast. Sure, I can live with that. Playing a forest and the Venom Sac Lagak. Passing the turn. Opponent draws a card, plays a forest. They are 3 colored. Playing a Gastel Thrill Roller. Enters, attacks for 4. Do I want to kill it? I don't think so, because when it enters, becomes an artifact, it can create for 2 and they can pay 3, discard a card, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter. Wow, that's annoying. So I think I should just block it here. Yeah, why not? Just block it. Okay, going down to 17. Drew a land, playing a swamp, playing the Ooze Patrol. Mill 2 cards, milling 1 creature, so that's a 4/4 now. Too bad it was my Greenbelt Guardian, but you know, that is how life is, that's how magic is. Opponent plays an island and a Captain Howler that has ward, pay 2 life. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. Okay, playing a forest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Playing, attacking with the Ooze Patrol next to blockers. Opponent doesn't block. I'll put a +4/+4 counter on that. Going in for 8 damage, passing the turn. Opponent is at 12 life. Drew a card. Plays a Thornwood Falls, gains a life, is now at 13 life, and plays a Gastel Thrill Roller. Okay, so they activated that ability, return it back from the graveyard with a finality counter on it. It becomes an artifact creature. They are going in for 11 damage, which is just insane. But I can just get rid of those cards here. Destroy target non-land. So that I have to pay 2 life, I guess. I can pay 2 life. I'm okay with paying 2 life for that to get rid of this card. So I'll pay 2 life. And yes, pay 2 life. I'm at 4 life. Don't love that, but next to come. Oh, why? I have to pay 2 and oh, that just sucks. That just sucks hard. Okay, opponent is at 11 life. Draws a card. Plays a has a removal spell, so I'll crew that. 6/5. That just sucks. I thought it's only pay 2 life. That was just a stupid mistake. Because I can't read. Wow, that's annoying. Don't love that. So I need to block here. Okay, that's a trade I can live with. At least I gain some time. I don't wanna attack because, okay, gaining 2 life, gaining 2 more life. So now I will be able to attack with the Bloodghast, going in for 2 damage. I'll accept 4 damage next turn. If they have some creature that is strong enough to crew that vehicle here, opponent draws a card. Opponent plays a Gilded Goda, sure, okay. Opponent crews that, goes in for 4 damage. I'll take the 4 damage. Don't have anything against that play. Drew a land, which I don't love. So I'll just not attack here. Not now. Passing the turn. Opponent. Okay, they have something to do here. End of my turn. Wow, that's just sad. Crewing that vehicle, Velohard bike. Can I still play the land? I played one already. So that's it. Not yet. Unless they have some haste creature. Wax and Shape Thief. Oh. So that's the game. That's 6 damage that I cannot block. Too bad. That was annoying. Okay, come on. I don't love how this Golgari decks are treating me, because yeah, it just sucks. And now it's another hand that I cannot keep. I cannot. That's a hand you should not keep. I cannot cast anything, any of my 7 2-drops. Here, that hand is keepable. Return the Rise from the Wreck. Don't love it. Don't love it, but it's magic. It's part of the game. Basri, okay. Playing a land, passing the turn. Opponent draws a card, plays another plains, plays a Walking Sarcophagus, starting the engines, goes in for 2 damage, is at 2 speed, and passes the turn. I drew the Venomsac Lagak, which I do think is good. Passing the turn. Opponent draws a card, has some nice magic floating island sleeves here. They look amazing. And is considering what to play, how to proceed with that game. I do love that I have the Lagak out here. Could have also played the Deathless Pilot, but... So what's it gonna be? Playing a Tranquil Cove, gaining a life, exerting the Basri probably, attacking with the Sarcophagus. I'll take 2 damage. I don't want the Lagak to block that. Going to 3 speed, I go down to 16 life. Drew a... Playing the Scurryfoot, playing the Deathless Pilot, just because it's a good blocker as well here. Opponent exerts the Basri, probably at the end of my turn. I'll attack with the Lagak, sure, because they're not gonna block here. Oh, they can make the token and then block with the token. I didn't think about that. Oh, but they didn't do it. Nice. Pass the turn. Opponent creates a token. That's nice. Okay. Draws a card. Attacks with the Walking Sarcophagus. I'll block with the Deathless Pilot. Why not? Because there are some grindy max speed deck, and I wanna stop them from getting max speed. Playing the Greenbelt Guardian, and now saddling the Death Touch creature for 2 with that here, and attacking with a 2/4 Death Toucher that I want to attack only those, not the scurry foot here, because I want that for later. I want to activate, ooh, right, and sure, that sucks. Hurts my feelings here, pretty much. Passing the turn. Opponent draws a card. They also don't have a fourth land here, which is kind of a little, it's good for me here, it's relieving. Attacking for 1 damage, I'll take the damage. Opponent goes to 20 life, I go down to 15 life. Opponent is now at maximum speed and casts a River Churn Monument. I don't want to be milled out by my opponent, don't love that, to be honest. And we didn't draw the land that we needed, so I guess the only thing to do is cycle the Migrating Catrodon here, but maybe next turn. Can't even exhaust the Scurryfoot, which sucks, sucks really hard. Attacking with the Greenbelt Guardian. Are they blocking with their Bossry? Okay, that's a trade I can live with. Now I can cycle the Migrating Catrodon, draw a card. Maybe I find something, but I don't have something. Okay, but now we found the land. Creating a token, sure, but now that is that. Okay, I think the trade was kind of fair. The Basri is now gone, but also my 5/5, my potential 5/5 here is gone. Opponent attacks for 2, I don't block. Opponent goes to 22 life, I go down to 13 life. Opponent plays an interface ace, that's the 0/4 blocker that settles mounts with its toughness. So I'll just make the 3/3 elephant token and pass the turn to my opponent. No attacks, passing the turn. Opponent makes me mill 2 cards, sure. That's my spin out gone. Don't love that. That's just a little annoying. And passes the turn again, so I will attack with my creatures. Next to blockers, how are they blocking? Do they have another Right's End? Okay, so Fang Guardian gives the elephant +2/+2. Let's just hope they don't have a counter. Okay, no counter here. So one of their cats is dead and the interface ace is probably dead. Right's Ending my elephant token, which is very annoying, to be honest, to say the least. Opponent makes me mill 2 more cards. And I can assign 2 damage. The lifelinkers are now gone, but the blocker is still here. I can destroy target creature or vehicle, but that's just an artifact, not a vehicle. And my Broken Wings is just gone here as well. So how many creatures? Yeah, let's just play the Ooze Patrol. And that is now a 1, 2, 7, 7. Nice. Attacking with my Fang Guardian. Opponent makes me mill 2 cards. That sucks. 17 cards in my deck, equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. Now they can make me mill. I have a lot of cards in my graveyard, 12, and I think they're gonna win by milling me out, probably, if I just don't, if I'm not able to turn that around. If I draw a land, I can just kill those, attack for 11, and I could really, ooh, and also have the Gaunty. We drew a land, so what's the thing? Oh, I can return the Bloodcast. Nice, take action, why not? So now I will spin out, I will run over the interface ace. I will spin out the pothole mole. I will go in for 11 damage. I'll mill 2 cards, so now I have 15 cards. Am I dead next turn? Yes, I am dead, and that just sucks. That just sucks. That's too bad. They can make me mill all of my cards. Wow. I just don't love how these and the last draft went. I had some good drafts before that, but this just hurts my feelings. I'm a little sad now because I'm not gonna be able to oh! Wow! They didn't! Nice! Why didn't they do it? I don't understand. They can exile an artifact or creature, but I can... Wow! Am I able to kill them? No, I don't think so. Gaunty. Attack with all my creatures. Why didn't they mill me out? I had 13 cards. I have 15 in my graveyard. So opponent, they could have killed me that turn, but I think now they will just exile a creature card from their graveyard and okay, this becomes an artifact creature. They are blocking the Ooze Patrol. They are going to 4 life. Okay. 7, 8, 9. Okay, sure. So they are at 1 life. I get some cards of the Gaunty. I can play the Ranger's Refueler. But I'm still dead. I am dead. I created treasure token. I think I am dead, being just milled out by them with 1 life. That just sucks. That just really sucks hard. And I think that it was my 3rd game. It makes me really sad that my Golgari decks don't work out the way they should. Even with the good cards like Gaunty and stuff. My turn. Okay, but why didn't they do it if I draw... I don't understand them. Exhaust this. They could have they don't have oh, they don't have the blue mana source. That's why. Now I understand. Let's just attack with all of my creatures here. And that's... Oh, I thought they can mill me out with the exhaust ability of Riverturn Monument, but they are not able because they don't have the 2nd blue mana source. That's just really nice. I didn't see that before. I thought they were stupid. Sorry, you're not stupid, but you are dead. I hope. That's just 1 damage who's going to get through here. I am sure that you cannot stop this from happening. And I think that's making the magic happen. But let's just wait. Do not praise the day before the evening. But that's it. I think that's good game. Run over, sure, but my Bloodghast is finishing them off. No, they have a Scrap Compactor. That is too bad. Sure. Still not that. I thought that's it. Wow, it's not. That's not it yet. Return the Deathless Pilot to my hand. Let's just hope they don't find the blue mana source. Come on. 11 cards in my library. If I just find a spin out or whatever removal spell, exile target artifact or creature an opponent controls. Come on, it's just 1 life. I want them. They are attacking for 7, sure. Going down to 6 life with their Earth Rumbler. And we drew the Deathless Pilot. Broadcast Rambler. Playing the Forest. Returning the Bloodcast. Take action. Having haste. I'll attack. Sure, they have to exile a card now. And do they have many creatures more? They still have enough creatures. Sure. They can block my Bloodcast. Don't love that. Come on, this is a very, very exciting game for me. It doesn't happen often that I'm that excited about a game. Opponent makes me mill 2 cards. That's both my Thundering Brood Wagons in one mill. Okay, so they. Come on. Lagrin, sure. So they can exile that and attack. Sure, they are doing that. So okay, passing to attackers. If they attack now, and I can saddle that for 1, crew 1, then I can just block with those, and it's dead. But do I want that? They have trample, so I need to. Yeah. And at least that Earth Rumbler is gone. That needs to be crewed for 3, so. At least the Earth Rumbler is gone. I have 5 life now. Opponent has a Lagrin, so they can block that. They cannot crew the Detention Chariot. Come on. This is just very... Okay, making me mill 2 more. I have 5 cards. So now I have the Migrating Catrodon. I do love that. I have the Beast Rider Vanguard. Gain 4 life off of that. Attacking with my 1... They have to block with the Lagrin. Lagrin is dead. And passing the turn. Opponent draws a card. If they found a blue mana source, they can mill me out. Good game. That's it. Okay, nice. That was a very exciting game. I had so much fun during that game, and I'm happy that this deck won another one. Okay, I think that hand is alright. I can't cast the Gonti with that starting hand, but I am very, very positive that I will find a second black mana source by the time that I need it. Playing the Swamp, playing the Greenbelt Guardian, passing the turn to my opponent, who draws a card and plays a... This kind of looks like the... What's the horror game with the triangle hat? I forgot it. It kind of looks like that, I think. Very creepy. Okay, opponent surveilled 2 off of their Wreckage Wickerfolk. We drew another land. We are able to... We'll just play the Beast Rider Vanguard. Pass the turn. Opponent. No attacks. Passing the turn. Opponent draws a card. Opponent is also Golgari. Maybe they are a better Golgari deck than I am, but... Hour of Victory, sure, they are some kind of hybrid Start Your Engines Golgari deck, which is okay for me. Going in for 1 damage, I'll take the damage. Passing the turn. Opponent Passes the turn. So now I can play a second thing here, and I do wanna exhaust the Greenbelt Guardian. I wanna attack now with both those creatures. Opponent will probably block the Beast Rider Vanguard, but I can live with that. So they're going down. Oh, they decided not to block, going down to 13 life, passing the turn. So at the end of their turn, is it the one? No, that's another one. That's just a sacrifice and look for a card at maximum speed. Enchantment. Okay, Grim Bauble, sure. Going in for 2 damage as opponent is at 3 speed. I play the Westwood Verge. And now I will play the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Gaunty. I do love the Gaunty. Attacking with my Greenbelt Guardian. Next to blockers. They are blocking, but I can... Death Touch. I can still give that creature trample. So I will still deal some damage and get a card off of the Gaunty, I hope. So yeah, that's 2 damage. I gain a card of the Gaunty. That's a Pactal Terror, sure, I love that. And I can kill the Wreckage Wicker Folk. Oh, I can even kill the Far Fortune, which is a little more annoying for me. At maximum speed, the source deals damage to an opponent. Okay, how's the play? I will play the Thundering Broodwagon, and I will kill that Far Fortune now. So, and then I will attack with my Gaunty. Opponent blocks with their 2/2 zombie, sure. And that game has a very, very different pace than the game from before. That's a Rakdos deck with this green splash. Also something I have not encountered that often. So, what's happening? Opponent plays an Apocalypse Runner, sure. That needs to be crewed for 3. That can't be blocked. Going down to 11 life. So I'll just spin out. Why not? I have another spin out as well. I'll just spin that out. And play the return 1 target creature or mount. Or vehicle. I can attack with the Thundering Broodwagon for 6 damage. Attacking them. Going down to 9 life. I can get a card off the Gaunty. I can even get the Greenbelt Guardian back. But I think it's... yeah, sure, why not? Use all my mana. Getting back the Greenbelt Guardian. Once cancel. Return up to 1 target creature card, up to 1 target mount card, up to 1 target vehicle card. Why doesn't it work? Up to 1. Oh, that's now the mount. Let's wait. I don't know. How come it doesn't work? I did click submit, it didn't work. Does it matter that much? Okay, at the beginning of your end step, that needs to go. I'll use my spin out on the Risen Necro region. Okay, creating a zombie token. So Thundering Broodwagon, spinning out the Necro Regent, sure. That needs to go very, very much away. Opponent concedes, and that's making the magic happen. Victory. Okay, that is a unfavorable hand. I'll mulligan as well because, yeah, that looks better. Not ideal, but better. Putting back the Gaunty, I guess. Yeah. So, opponent is going first. They had to mulligan another time. That just sucks for them. Playing the Stampeding Scurryfoot, passing the turn. Opponent draws a card, plays a swamp, plays a momentum breaker, making me sacrifice my Stampeding Scurryfoot, which I do love not. Passing the turn, just playing a swamp. Opponent Place another swamp and a Broodheart Engine, sure. So I will play the swamp and the Bloodghast, or just the Velohard Bike, because, you know, I want to make 1 mana, I want to cast that Ooze Patrol next turn, or maybe destroy something that needs to be destroyed. Hazard of the Dunes, sure, that resolves. I play... What do I play? I'll play 2, 3, 4, 5. It can be in 5/5, I guess. Bloodghast, or just spin out. Sure, just spin it out. That's okay. Play the Bloodghast and pass the turn. Opponent draws a Surveils 1 and draws a card. Plays an Hour of Victory, creates a black 2/2 zombie creature token, and starts their engines. Passes the turn. I drew a forest. I do love a good forest, and I do wanna attack with my Bloodghast. Opponent takes 2 damage. Now I'll play the Ooze Patrol and mill 2 cards. And that's now a 3/3 past the turn. Opponent Surveils 1 because it's their upkeep and they have the Broodheart Engine. Alright. Drew a card. Played a Greenbelt Guardian, which I don't love here. I do love the card, but I don't love that my opponent plays it. Cycles an Shepherd Archfiend and passes to my turn. So I drew another land, and now I want to just get the Rise from the Wreck. Let's just see. Stampeding Squarefoot. Submit 0. 1 vehicle. Don't have a vehicle. No creature with no abilities. It just sucks to pay that 3 mana just for the Stampeding Squarefoot. But at this point of the game, I think it's the only thing I should do here. Crew that for 2. For the Bloodghast, I think, and attack with my Velohard Bike and my Ooze Patrol. Opponent blocks the Velohard Bike and takes 3 damage, and I'm passing the turn. Opponent Surveils, draws a card, plays a swamp, and passes the turn again. So I will just attack with my creatures here. Next to blockers. Opponent blocks the Ooze Patrol. And I'll play the Bestow Greatness on my Ooze Patrol. Opponent exhausts it, but still my card is bigger than theirs. Opponent goes down to 10 life, and I'm passing the turn. They still can Surveil, and they drew a card. They are playing a Back on Track, returning the Shepherd Archfiend, destroying 2 of my big good creatures. 3. I'll attack with my Ooze Patrol. Opponent does block. I play the Fang Guardian, flashing it in, giving my Ooze Patrol +2/+2, getting rid of that Shepherd Archfiend. Opponent Surveils 1, draws a card. That game has very much pace, and sacks the Broodheart Engine, returns the Shepherd Archfiend. So now I'll just have to sit and wait, get 5 damage. Opponent now has the card advantage, has the better board state, and is at speed 2. We drew the Thundering Broodwagon, but that is no use here because that can only destroy target non-land with mana value 4 or less. I'll still play it and yeah, I'll take the Bloodghast, sure. And attack with the Bloodghast, sure, it has haste. Going in. Opponent goes down to 8. And do I wanna Momentum Break or something? I'll just play the Thundering Broodwagon and kill the whatever Hour of Victory. Passing the turn, opponent draws a card. I hope I find a spin out or something to get rid of that Archfiend, but opponent has the upper hand at the moment. Attacking for 5 damage, going down to 12, is at 3 speed, so I drew a Venom Cyclic Gag. I play that. I can crew the Thundering Bootwagon for those two and attack for 6. Do they have some removal spell? Let's just hope not, but it looks like they have some. Run over. That's too bad. Passing the turn. Opponent draws a card, plays a Pothole Mole, and mills 3 cards, returns a land to their hand, and attacks for 5, going down to 7. Please give me some removal spell. I found a Migrating Catrodon, which I do love. It's a 6/6. It's able to block the Shepherd Archfiend. I wanna attack with both my creatures just to pressure my opponent. They will block the Venom Cyclic Gag, going to 6 life. Passing the turn, they can gain 4 life. Sure, I can live with that. They drew a card. They are attacking. I don't block. Let's just hope. Okay, playing a swamp, and now I can go in for 8. Let's just go in for 8. Opponent passing the turn. So what will happen here? Opponent Vanguardian. Okay, that's a good game. And that's my Golgari deck losing for the 3rd time. Didn't have enough graveyard synergy, I guess, but still, I do feel it was a solid deck. Still, I didn't get the results that I would have loved for, but you know, 3 wins, 3 losses. That's just okay. I hope you liked the video. If you did, show some love by hitting that like or subscribe button down below. It helps me to continue making more content like this, and I wish you a nice day.